An astonishing 40% drop in ERA, according to post-2017 WBC analysis, was observed in starting pitchers who were forced into high-leverage, multi-inning relief roles during the tournament, followed by a mandated quick transition back to their regular season rotation spot, suggesting that this hidden cost of global glory is the silent killer of early-season NPB momentum.
This is the existential trade-off Manager Ibata just accepted by confirming the selection of Ito Hiromi, a decision that thrills the masses but sends shivers down the spines of the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters faithful, who are already desperately calculating the cost of their ace's maximum output deployment.
Welcome to 601 Daily News, where we dissect the dangerous brilliance of Samurai Japan's latest gambit and try to figure out exactly which part of Ito's soul Ibata had to mortgage to secure his services. The news landed like a fastball to the chest. Ito Hiromi is officially a lock for Samurai Japan, joining the established global titans like Shohei Ohtani and the highly effective MLB additions of Yusei Kikuchi and Yuki Matsui, alongside domestic powerhouses like Atsuki Taneichi and Daichi Ishii. For years, the narrative around Ito was one of relentless consistency and quiet efficiency, the kind of pitcher who just delivers. Now, that quiet efficiency is being called upon for the loudest, most high-stakes stage baseball has to offer. The collective sigh of relief from the national fanbase was palpable, but immediately the commentariat shifted focus, not to if he belongs, but how he will be used. As one veteran analyst, whom we'll call Kudo, put it, the mistake everyone makes is seeing Ito as a starter who can fill in. Ibata sees him as the ultimate weapon, the second starter hypothesis realized. Kudo's theory centers on the idea that with Ohtani likely limited and a slew of primary starters needed for the round robin, the knockout stages require a pitcher who can dominate innings 4 through 7, or more crucially, enter a deadlocked final situation and give 3 high-octane innings of relief. Ito, with his unique blend of deceptive motion and a splitter that simply vanishes at the plate, is statistically the most devastating option for this role. Consider this little-known fact. In high-leverage situations, with 2 runners on and the game tied in the 7th inning or later, Ito's opponent batting average over his last 2 seasons sits at a chilling .175, compared to the domestic average for starters in similar scenarios, which hovers around .24. Nippon Ham fans are legitimately terrified that pushing Ito to his absolute max output, which he is guaranteed to do in the WBC because of his competitive fire, will lead to arm fatigue, a slow start, or worse, injury, jeopardizing their season. You can't ask a starter to switch from building up stamina for 100 pitches to giving 45 pitches of pure, unadulterated velocity and movement against the world's best, and then immediately switch back to being an NPB ace, argued famed baseball writer Misaki Tanaka. She pointed directly to the 2017 WBC fallout, citing the slow starts of several major NPB aces who participated. This is the conflict Ibata had to address head-on, and his answer, implied by his unwavering commitment to Ito, is the critical plot twist in this whole narrative. Ibata knows the risk. He accepts the risk. Because fundamentally, Ibata is not selecting Ito Hiromi the starter, he is selecting Ito Hiromi the Iceman, the competitor who thrives on the edge of catastrophe. The argument that he will struggle in April is countered by the overwhelming tactical necessity of having a pitcher of his caliber in the late stages of the tournament. The climax of this selection strategy is the semi-final matchup, perhaps against the US or the Dominican Republic, where the established ace, having thrown 5 solid innings, faces the gauntlet of the opposition's power hitters for the 3rd time. That is the moment Ohtani or the primary starter falters, and Ibata needs someone with the demeanor of a finisher, not just a rotation member. They say we risk his NPB season. GM Sato, a fictional tactical genius consulted for this analysis, mused aloud. But I ask you, what is the cost of not having Ito when the championship is on the line? The opportunity cost of a gold medal far outweighs the temporary setback of an opening day loss. Furthermore, Ibata isn't simply relying on Ito's grit. He's playing the long game. The unconfirmed intel swirling through the inner circles suggests that Ibata views this WBC experience as a fast-track course in high-leverage mentality.
He's not just using Ito as a multi-inning reliever, he's intentionally hardening him for the biggest moments, anticipating that this exposure will elevate him from a reliable NPB starter to an undisputed generational ace capable of winning any game regardless of the stakes, a capability that will return to the fighters tenfold by the summer.
The concern about his opening day availability is merely collateral damage in the pursuit of forging an unbeatable national weapon. Ibata's subtle, almost mischievous remark that led to the original transcript's fan worry about the fighter's opening day pitcher wasn't a mistake. It was a deliberate statement of prioritization. It signaled to the entire baseball world, Ito is ready to serve the nation at maximum capacity, and frankly, the domestic calendar must adjust.
This experience, the maximum output deployment against the world's best sluggers in clutch situations, isn't draining him. It's building the steel that makes him truly elite. The open loop of whether the cost is worth it resolves itself here. Ibata believes this baptism by fire is necessary, transforming Ito from a good starter into a transcendent competitor.
What we are witnessing is not merely a player selection. It is a tactical sacrifice by the fighters for the greater glory of Samurai Japan, underpinned by the firm conviction that Ito Hiromi is the single most valuable multi-inning, high-leverage asset in the entire NPB. He is the pitcher who can tame the final storm. We've seen the data, we've heard the concerns, but ultimately the brilliance of Ito's confirmed selection lies in Ibata's willingness to push the boundaries of conventional rotation management for global supremacy. Do you agree with Ibata's calculated risk? Or do you believe the pressure of the WBC will compromise Ito Hiromi's performance for the rest of his domestic season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow baseball fanatics, and subscribe to 601 Daily News for the deepest dive into Japanese baseball.